Martin from the Philippines. We're here in Real Talk Lifeline. So, in this quick hit, this one is going to be about relationships. So, this is everybody's favorite topic, at least here in the Philippines. I always see it. People light up whenever people talk about relationships, love, that type of advice. So, this one is dedicated for all you people into that. So, this one is also for me as well. Now, this one, I'll be sharing a comment and it may sound like a harsh truth. So, just a heads up. Now, I'll be sharing this based on my personal experience. And this is versus the conditioning and the stereotype in the Philippines of relationships. So, people who don't have an idea, um, it's very common in the culture. So they even have that term shipping, like relation shipping, where people try to get a guy and a girl, to be in a relationship. Like they put a label on them. So it's more common, at least here in the Philippines, I've observed. So what is the reality though? So let's just start it off by I'll share a comment. This one is something I saw recently. It's from the Happy Wife School. So, the Happy Wife School, for those who don't know, it's a channel. I think she's really cool, mature. Short info is I am a former unhappy wife who emasculated my husband until I had an awakening that I was the problem in my marriage. So, I love it. I'm all for accountability. And as a guy, I understand that it's a very harsh reality. It's a truth. It's I lived in that growing up at a young age. Now to see a woman take that level of accountability feels like I just saw a unicorn in real life. And it's so cool. I love it. So this is where that comment is coming from in that channel or podcast. So I'm gonna share it over here in just a sec. So I'm gonna put it on screen over there. I'll read it with you guys. So, just again, a heads up. It might sound either harsh, controversial, but I will break it down for you. Now, if you do have personal experience with this, meaning you have been in a relationship, you have been in a committed relationship, then I welcome all your comments. People who have not been in a relationship yet or have no experience on the topic, I welcome your constructive, your perspective, your sharing on it, because we can all learn from each other. So I'm going to put this up full screen and I will read it out with you. So the comment goes, anytime I have ever fully committed to a woman, given her lots of attention, loved her unconditionally, and been completely exclusive, it has resulted in them treating me poorly, constantly acting out, and ultimately destroying the relationship. When I treat women almost like sex objects and act like they're not very important to me, I don't have any major issues, and the relationship goes much better. What I have learned is that even though women think they want true love and to be treated like princess, anytime they actually get these things, they hate it, lose respect for the man, and eventually blow up the relationship. As a man, you have to understand this and view women, even a woman you love, as a mere accessory to your life and as something you could take or leave. It's the only way to keep them in line. I'm aware of how bad that potentially sounds, but it's the truth. So I welcome comments from this point, people watching the live or the replay. And there are some parts here that may be highly misunderstood. So I'll break down just a few before I go on to end the live. So one part over here says, actually, the first part I do agree with, just based on experience. Some people call that putting a woman on a pedestal. Um, Modern day, they call that simping, meaning you just love the woman so much, it's smothering. And then she actually, has, it turns into disgust. so it's imbalanced. And then here, when it says, when I treat women almost like sex objects and act like they're not very important to me. So the way I understand that is, again, it might sound controversial or derogatory, but a healthy expression of this is when you are focused on your own life as a man, on a higher purpose, right? On a mission, you know, then the relationship, the tendency is like there's a term here, a woman you love as a mere accessory to your life. So some people might take that the wrong way and say, oh, not that important. I would disagree. So when you do have a higher purpose and a woman as a complement, maybe that's a better word you'd rather use, the tendency is it works much better. Same as a guy, I would say, if a woman put so much pressure on me and relied on me so much that she did not have her own life or she did not have a higher purpose, right? A higher order. Here in the Philippines, commonly they call that God, or like they have faith. My term is they have a higher purpose, or they have a higher order, because as a human being, I'm very imperfect. I can be wrong, fallible, I make mistakes, I can lead you astray at times. So that's something I also look for in a woman. So keeping them in line. So again, it goes back to personal boundaries and that having that higher order or the truth. So I'm going to stop this sharing over here, back to me for a bit. And before I end this live, I'll end it with two more points. So, number one, why relationships? How come the topic always goes back to relationships? How come people keep posting about it? Short answer is because it's a human need. Now, if you don't believe me, you can check out the video Human Needs. That's in the Real Talk Lifeline channel. So it breaks it down. Now, if you say, Martin, that's a load of bullshit, I don't believe that. Well, is food and water a human need? Yeah. Now, something not as basic, let's say, how about security? That could be not just physical, how about financial security? Is that a human need? It is. And as we go higher, relationships come in over there. Now, is it possible to live your life single or just on your own for the rest of your life? It is. But even those people, I believe, establish a relationship, a connection, or love with someone in their life. It doesn't have to be romantic, right? But it can be a deeper form. Now, it could be a very deep form of self love, or it can be with a stranger. It could be with a childhood friend, a best friend. So I believe relationships are still there in those human needs. So check out that video, Human Needs. It's in the Real Talk Lifeline YouTube channel, and it goes deeper into that. So the second point is there a better way? Because Martin, that comment you shared, it for some it wakes them the fuck up, like me. Like it's like, I don't agree with it, but it's true. So if you've been through it, and people will say, what's your experience, Martin? I've been in a 1 year relationship, my first girlfriend, committed. And then after that, I was in a 9 year relationship. And that first line was so true because I went through it. Now, the line after that is don't misinterpret it. It doesn't mean to treat a woman badly, it just means there's a balance. If you treat the person like they're the only thing in your life, it puts a lot of pressure on them. And then those bad things tend to happen. But then if you have this one now, which I'm going to share, this ending part is there a better way? You can check out so a few things that helped me. Number one is you can check out relationship vision. So in the Real Talk Lifeline channel, check out the Tony Robbins playlist. And there's one there, the Date with Destiny, Best Lessons. So there's a video there, and you can skip to the part about relationship vision. So it's like having a vision for your relationship. And that was a very good guide where I learned that back in December 2020 when I attended this Tony Robbins Date with Destiny seminar. And a lot of people don't have that. So if you do not have a relationship vision, you will attract whatever, even abusive relationships. So that was very helpful. The second and the last one that I could share is there a better way? Is there a better way when it comes to relationships? So just fixing this camera for a second. When it comes back, so is there a better way? There we go. So is there a better way? So you can check out having a higher purpose in the podcast meditation playlists or the podcast meditations playlist of The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. So he has a line there where it says, your relationship, right? Your purpose must always come before your relationship. So going back to that comment over there, when it comes to a relationship, that thing centered me and guided me. When you have a purpose, a higher purpose, again, here in the Philippines, commonly they call that God, right? In this very religious country. So, but whatever it is, if you're not that religious, it could just be, a higher purpose, your mission in life, and it can evolve, it can change over time, but you will know it deep down inside. If you have trouble trying to figure it out, check out the Millions, sorry, Mission to Millions video, wherein I share the best lessons on that, on how to find your mission or purpose in life. I took a course on it back in January 2019, and it helped me a lot. So, people, if you are still feeling stuck, or maybe you learned a lot already, but you want help with something else, this is relationships right now. If you want help with your health, your wealth, maybe purpose also in life aside from relationships, comment down below, clarity call, and I'll do a one on one with you. I did a one on one recently, actually, and it was face to face. So normally I do it over like Zoom or Google Meet, like a video call. But, if you are close by here in Manila area, I'd be happy to even meet up face to face with you. Now, if you find this fun, this topic, comment live down below if you want to join me on a live like this, and we can talk about relationships, we can talk about your health, we can talk about money, right? So it's your more in your mindset, or we can even talk about purpose, going deeper into your life. So thank you. I love you, and I will see you next time.